Your favorite coach is back. I know y'all been wondering, Coach, where you been, man? We ain't got no videos from you. What's going on with you? Guys, hey, Coach had to decompress for a minute here because that Jackson State Celebration Bowl game, which is a bit too much for me. I got my behind chewed out from the time I left the stadium this past Saturday all the way to Savannah. And you know what? I'm just saying, this can't be real. I mean, only thing I kept hearing my lady say was like, hey, Jackson State gonna come back in this game. And I looked at her and said, today ain't the day. I'm like, today just ain't the day. She's sitting there like, this can't be real. We're now watching the game in the truck driving to Savannah. And you know what? I just sat there and looked at it. I said, listen, even after I picked JSU to win, I still caught an earful from Atlanta to Savannah. That's correct, guys. I got my behind chewed out so bad because she couldn't believe that we went into the stadium this weekend and watched JSU get whooped on like this. But you know what? I got to go ahead and talk about it. And I'm going to give you a little bit of what I really think happened here. And there's going to be consecutive videos that's going to come behind as far as more and more things that I saw that I don't think some people really caught. The pressure all the way through. Hey, strap on in. Coach going to go ahead and get to it right about now. It's your favorite coach back at it again, 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, hit that notification bell so you get all upcoming videos. Like, comment, and share these videos. Do Coach a huge favor. Tap in a friend or two. Tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes over here. We just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. So without further ado, don't forget you can follow us on social media. The links are listed down below in the description. So let's go ahead and jump on in this thing because I know y'all like, Coach, we've been waiting on your video for the longest. So here we go. Listen, I'm sitting in the Celebration Bowl. I got my kids with me. I got my girl with me. And, we sitting around a whole bunch of Jackson State fans. And it got so bad, my girl said, hey, she wanted something for the concession stand. So I'm watching the game on the big TVs. So by the time I get back to my seat, the women that's sitting in the area around where we sitting at, they are losing their freaking minds. Why don't you run the ball? What are them coaches doing down there? This is ridiculous. I can't believe they came all the way here to do this. Yes, guys, that's the type of action I'm sitting there getting while watching the game. So I didn't have to get upset with the game because the ladies was doing it for me. Even my boys were sitting there looking like, wait a minute, we seeing this? Yeah, I said, guys, let me tell you something. I always tell folks, and I tell my kids the same thing too when we out there on the field. Mike Tyson once said, and I get one kid talking, who is Mike Tyson, Coach? I'm like, hey, Mike Tyson was a great boxer back in the 90s, a little bit into the 2000s. He was out there, he was knocking folks out at, to a big clip. And I said, he always said, people have a plan until they get hit. And in this instance, guess what? Jackson State didn't have no plan because you know what? South Carolina State kept hitting them over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I mean, I'm just sitting there like, man, what in the heck is going on here? But the one thing I did say to myself was, I said, I wonder if Coach Pugh looked at my daggone my pregame breakdown before this game, said, you know what? How Coach Walker know what we ready to do to them? Because you know what? South Carolina State exposed every weakness Jackson State had that no SWAC team could expose at all. And this is no disrespect to none of the SWAC teams that they played against. But guys, you just weren't able to do it. And South Carolina State, they were able to do just that. I mean, come on, let's be real here. You're putting all the pressure on your front seven to get to a quarterback all game long to disrupt an offense. Okay, we already know, and I'm going to mention this right now because I know everybody's going to sit there like, Coach, what are you talking about? Listen, all of the teams within the SWAC, they do not have great offensive linemen, except for a few. And I'm gonna say the teams for you just so you know. Southern University, they always find a way to get those linemen in there that can block and keep you from getting back there to their quarterback. It's just the quarterbacks that go back there from time to time that make the errant decisions as far as with throwing the ball in the bad coverage or throwing the ball in the places where they shouldn't throw it. And I'm just being honest with you guys. Hey, I told y'all I came back rested and ready to go. So here it is. That's only going to work for so long. And I mean, stand in man defense with Shaq Davis and Vereen, and you got the other receivers out there on the field. You got to be kidding me. Did y'all really think that Shaq Davis was not going to get out there and get loose on y'all? I mean, listen. You try to run a zone coverage against this kid, and still he ended up causing the JSU defenders to knock each other over. I mean, it's like he had everybody so discombobulated on what's going on. It wasn't even funny. They didn't even line him up. They didn't even line him up anywhere near the sideline. They made sure that you could not use that sideline as an extra defender to possibly get him out of bounds. They kept him inside all game long. And then when you did decide you was going to run, let's say let's go ahead and roll the dice. We're gonna go with a zone. We're gonna go man over. Guess what he does? He runs straight through it. He blows right through it. And the crazy thing was they ran the same play. They ran that same play against you in the second quarter. And then they went away from it. In that second half, when they came back out, when they got the ball kicked back off to them, starting the second half, guess what they did? They took that thing straight down the field and said, guess what? We are going to come in here and kick y'all teeth in today. And guess what? And that's exactly what they did. They didn't hesitate with nothing that they were looking to do. Even on the delay runs that they ran, I'm sitting there saying, hey, Flowers going to get the delay run. He going to get the delay handoff and take off up the field. Instead, they gave it to 27. All he did was switch the numbers around and say, okay, everybody's going to be looking for Flowers to get this delay handoff. Nah, I ain't going to give it to him. I'm going to give it to the other guy. I'm going to give it to the big back and let him do it. And he take off up the field on you. I'm sitting there like, man, this just a bad day all around. And I'm going to be real with you. Shaq Davis came out there and showed everybody that he is the new coming of Randy Moss. And I'm going to tell you why. Because there were so many people who said all he could do is run those go routes. Guess what? Shaq Davis was out there putting on a daggone receiving clinic, showing people, hey, you can't guard me. He didn't have to jump over. He didn't have to jump over anybody to get the ball because people were so far out of position. It was ridiculous. So again, they saw all of the bad tendencies that Jackson State had, and guess what? They took advantage of them. Same thing with the line. Like I said, I don't have to talk about the line because we already knew what that was all about. The line is the easiest part to talk about. It's just simple. When you sit there and you look at the defense that South Carolina State ran against Jackson State offense, where they brought 6-7 men down to the line of scrimmage. They put the safeties to the outside. They brought the safeties up as the linebackers, and they had the they brought the corners up as the linebackers, and they had the safety standing right outside the box. How the heck did you see that? And I'm sitting here telling you they get ready to do it to you. I'm like, come on, man. You already know that's their casino defense. Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't. Then guess what they do? They make your behind check out the daggone play you gonna run, and then they back right on. They go ahead and go straight back in the daggone coverage. But the one thing that got me was number 5 over there on South Carolina State. For South Carolina State, that young man was out there. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. He was head hunting in that game. He was looking to take you smooth the heck out. I mean, it just wasn't no playing with you. And I'm be real, Jackson State. You guys sat there, allowed them to come out there. They bullied y'all in this game. They got physical with you, and they bullied you in this game. When you got your core, you got your receivers, not your receiver, you got your running back on a punt, kick return, get clothesline tackled. Man, I'm sitting there looking like, who the heck gonna get fired up about this thing here and do something about this, man? I'm like that. There's no way in the world you go into the field of battle and you allow your running back to get clothesline like that. And it's just like, oh, okay. I mean, what we doing here, guys? I mean, like I said, I know everybody done beat y'all down for the past couple of days. I'm late to the party. But you know what? I got to give South Carolina State their props because they came out there and they did exactly what everybody thought they couldn't do. I said in the pregame, I said in the prediction video, I said, I smell an upset coming. But I done drunk this Kool-Aid all season long. And the bartender said, whoa, slow down. You've had enough. Don't drink no more. You've had enough. I said, nah, I'm going to take this last drink. I'm going to ride the last ride with him. And boy, I turned into a crash dummy on this one. Because I'm sitting there looking like, whoa, what in the heck is going on here? I mean, it just, I'm trying to, I need answers. Somebody got to answer something for me because I'm trying to figure out, did Coach T.C. Taylor, did he call the game? Because the game plan looked like it was the old game plan. I'm not understanding with outside of the double reverse that they ran. I'm just like, okay, what's going on? I mean, you had plays that was happening, and then you just had something goofy that just took place that caused that play to come back. You left so many points on the scoreboard. You left so many points on the field during the first half where I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, guys, Y'all really gonna play around with these guys like they can't come back and touch you up? Yeah, y'all acting like they cannot touch y'all up and get this W off you today. I mean, yeah, you kind of need this wake up call. But you know what? I'm just gonna be honest with you. Looking at what everybody else got coming into their programs come next year, this thing hey, this was a great season, but I'm just like, wow. But let me get back to the game itself, because you know what? I think what ended up happening was the defensive team, and Coach Thurman, I'm throwing you in there as well. I'm thinking that you guys thought that Coach Pugh, y'all saw Coach Pugh's variation of the offense was something similar to what Alabama A&M ran, with a little stretch as far as with Texas Southern, with with them just throwing balls out there to receivers that's just gonna take off and go down the field. Well, guess what? They got a daggone tight end, number 48. Mr. Washington, Mr. Yancey Washington, 6'2", 230 pounds, that has no problem coming across the line of scrimmage, coming down the line of scrimmage to seal off a defensive end to make sure, hey, you won't get back here and touch my quarterback. It's not going to happen. And like I said, number 27 was back there in that backfield as well, making sure that nobody got back there to fields to disrupt nothing. And when he got comfortable, guess what? It was a problem. Yeah, y'all had him shook in the first quarter. Y'all had him a little shook in the first quarter. When he got them jitters out, that boy got out there and showed y'all, hey, look, I am that dude. And yeah, you put all that, on the offensive side, you put all that pressure on QB1, in which y'all hoping he's going to be able to do the same thing that he did all season long. But when he caught that one shot coming across the helmet, I believe it was after Jackson State scored, he wasn't the same player after that. He was not the same player after that, because there was times where people that was open, there was times he could have took off and ran the ball, but he didn't do it. And I'm sitting there like, man, yeah, they got to him today. They rattled him. And everybody's sitting there, like I said, the ladies in the stands, they hollering and screaming, trying to figure out what's going on. And like I said, I'm not going to get into that daggone Jackson State offensive line. But I'll tell you this, something got to change, because if it don't, guess what? South Carolina State already gave everybody the blueprint on how to beat Jackson State. And that's basically come up to the line of scrimmage, get physical, and let them know, hey, look, their dogs can bite bigger and harder than Jackson State dogs on that line of scrimmage. Just being honest with you. And I mean, I'm trying to understand, did anybody scout the defensive front for South Carolina State? Did anybody look at daggone number 96 Hartwater, number 98 Thunderbird, or number 34 Suzman? Guys, I stated these three like to get nasty up in them trenches, and they made sure that Jackson State was not going to be able to get out there and run the daggone ball at all. And guess what? They came out there, showed that they were prepared to get to it. Coach Saxon took away every advantage that Jackson State would normally have in the game. And guess what? Jackson State had no answers. I mean, like I said, the offensive game plan looked like it was the game plan before they changed Coach T.C. Taylor to become the offensive coordinator. Can somebody please tell me what's going on? I'm back to that again, because I'm not understanding what's going on here. I mean, I'm not. Like I said, in the pregame, I fully stated, whichever quarterback got comfortable first, that's who's going to win the game. Guess who got comfortable? They allowed QB1 for Jackson State to, think he was going to get comfortable back there with throwing that ball. And all of a sudden, the lights went off. And guess what? It was party time. And you saw Corey Fields, he started ramping up a little bit. Had opportunities, got interceptions, in which he made costly mistakes. And lo and behold, we got penalties. Like I said, the discipline factor. They didn't play discipline. You said smart, fast, discipline. We didn't play discipline. And guess what? Discipline got us tagged. Got you tagged bad. But you know what? All I'm gonna say is this. I will say one last thing about when that defensive guy came across QB1 for Jackson State helmet. When he came across that helmet, no flag was thrown. I knew this was gonna be a dogfight, and this was gonna be the game that it was put up and shut up. All that talking wasn't gonna work, because at the end of the day, you had to show improvement. South Carolina State, like I said, flat out, they undressed Jackson State from the second quarter to the end of the game, and they made sure that Jackson State was discombobulated as far as getting players out there on the field for the defense. I mean, all of that was just terrible. I mean, bottom line is, Coach Pugh and the South Carolina State football coaching staff, they out-schemed, they out-coached, and they just flat out came out there and beat up on Jackson State, period. I mean, it just is there's no way for me to get around any of that. I mean, like I said, everything that Coach Prime has done as far as with the for HBCU football, I appreciate you for all of that, because yes, you've gotten the electricity back into everybody looking at HBCU sports. But now's the time we about to find out who's really coaching and who's not, because these coaches are now going to get these players and bring them into their program to let everybody know, hey, listen, we ain't coming out here to get beat up on like this again. Trust me, they're not. It's not going to happen. But like I said, I just feel like Jackson State did not come to Atlanta thinking that this was a business trip. They thought it was a party trip and got caught slipping. Hey, congratulations to South Carolina State University on a phenomenal as I always state before, never judge a book by its cover. Make sure you know who the players are at the table before you sit down and get to doing all that rah-rah. And guess what? South Carolina State made sure they came out there, let everybody know they were the real players at the table in this game. But Coach do apologize for getting this video out to you guys. I got several videos coming. Yes, this one is a bit winded. It's a bit long. As you can see, Coach got a lot to say. But hey, y'all stick around. I got more coming for you today. But until next time, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. And remember, be the one and lead.